Time for our favorite part of the Betting Expert Nigeria channel. And this is where we give tips. Today, there will be no football analysis, but we still love to give our tips because it's always fun when we share our tips and see how well we did. So let's talk about our scorecard from last time, game week 1. Nobody had a clean slate anyways.
Yeah.
Let me just read that out. Or do you remember what your score was?
Yeah, I had a 5/7. Yeah,
Okay.
I lost two sleeps, and the problem, I even told Sarah Brony then that I would never bet on United. I have taken them off for this season.
So they are
No.
blacklisted for this
Yeah,
season.
they are blacklisted.
Aye.
That team, they are not consistent in any way. Then the other one had to be Crystal Palace, their loss. And I talked about how the referee's decision could have been a game changer or the same. But then nearly doesn't kill a bet. So
Of course.
we'll
of course.
just go again, match day 2.
Yeah, we'll go again
we'll do
for
it
sure.
better.
So Cerebroni had 12 out of 15 picks. That's about 70% thereabout. And for myself, my 11 odd slip, I had 7 out of 10 correct. For the corners, 6 out of 9 correct. And the bet builder, that was the annoying one actually. That thing was like sure to enter. And then Fabian Shah just did what he did. And he threw that game open. Like 2 out of 3 for the bet builder. Easy 4.60 odds. But then we go again. The time for match day 2 and there's loads of action. And of course, we'll be giving our tips for this weekend. So what are you looking out for this match day 2?
For match day 2, this time I am spreading my tentacles. I am not just saying, yes, I am. I'm doing that. I'm not just doing the top 5 leagues. I'm also going to the African League, like
Love
the
it.
CAF competitions, where I want to just focus on my strengths, where I
Yeah,
understand.
to be fair, you actually even covered one of the CAF games
Yes,
for including
Remo
Remo
Stars
Stars.
versus AS5 Morocco. So that is where I'm going to. I've always talked about going for your strength and know which would work
Of course.
for you. So
That's a
that's
good
what
one.
I'm doing this weekend.
Taking your advice and spreading your tentacles and dwelling into more leagues aside the top 5 leagues. So what are your tips looking like?
Yeah, they're looking good. And at least I'm not doing those your unders that you always come
I'm
and.
actually going to do on that, so don't laugh at me this time. Don't
I'm going to laugh
me.
at you. You can't
Don't
do
laugh at
unders
me.
because when I do unders,
Don't
then
laugh at me,
you make
please.
it look like I am too
Now, carry
conservative.
on, laugh.
But but then one game I think every bookmaker will have, that's the Manchester City versus Ipswich. So I'm giving Manchester City normal straight win. Like I don't think I'm getting it's gradual. And I told you I'm going everywhere. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. I know that it's not been rosy for Arsenal with Aston Villa, but then I
And
think
see, look, I'm giving you.
wait now, calm down first. But I'm still going to give Arsenal either a win or a draw. I think Arsenal will be able to get something
You
better
sabi.
than like I don't think Unai Emery will be able to repeat what he did to Arsenal last season, especially at this early stage of the
No,
competition.
you know your stuff. You know your stuff.
And I think I have that to score as well. So.
Guy, in fact, you're
Go and
brilliant.
rest, Joe.
They are
Liverpool,
brilliant.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Liverpool for me, yes. Forget about the win they had against Ipswich. Ipswich, you're supposed to win, but we could see how
Supposed to win,
Rocky.
or they could have won.
Yes, that's why I said if you see how Rocky and Liverpool
Yeah.
started that game, so you
They
can't
could
be
have.
all convincing with this team. So I'm still going to stick with a win or a draw for Liverpool because it's still early. I'm not sure of how Arne Slot will fare against this team, especially managers that already know the league, like Thomas Frank of Brentford. Then to the French League on, I have PSG Montpellier. I think PSG, they started the league on a bang and they'll still continue on that. So I'm giving PSG a win. Lens Brest, I'm going to go for a goal. I think both teams will be able to score in that one. Then I also have Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayern Leverkusen. I'm giving Leverkusen a win or a draw away from home, so I'm going for a 2x. Then this is the most important for me, or has to be the African continent, because we have the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup, and I'm going with the big names. I'm sticking with the quality on the continent, and I'm seeing these teams. They've always performed. They don't, especially at home, they know how to win their game. So CR Belouizdad versus Leopard. This side, again, that's the Ugandan side. CR Belouizdad, they even won away from home. So you just come at home to complement it. So I think they are going to win that game. I'm giving them a straight win. AS5 versus Remo Stars. I know I'm in Nigeria. I know I love Remo
don't
Stars,
get too
but it has
patriotic
nothing to
again.
do, yes, with this. We've always said don't bet with emotions.
Yeah.
So I'm giving AS5 of Morocco a win ahead of Remo Stars.
That's
because
on their home turf.
yes, they're home turf, because it ended here 2-1 in Nigeria, and all they need to do is to score one, and they've moved on. CAF still has
But to be
the
fair, it's
the
always
way go.
difficult for us
Yeah,
to go
for us
to
to even go to the
the
north.
north
So
and win.
especially when the victory is that slim, it tells you that it's a no-go area.
Fair.
I don't think our teams have gotten to that level to go to North Africa and win. But if that happens, that would be a miracle, though. But I don't see that happening. They have Raja Casablanca versus another weak side, ASGNN. That's like Niger club, very weak side, I think. So Raja would still be able to get that victory. And the last but not the least has to be Rangers. Rangers International versus Limon. I think Rangers will be able to either win or draw. They've already won away. The last one that was played was away, despite it being in Nigeria. So I think they'll just complement that result. So I'm going for my strongest points. I think this time it will be a green weekend.
That makes sense. Those are some very, very telling selections there. And I think on paper, they actually look good. On paper, they actually look good. But I mean, games are not won on paper.
Yeah,
anyway.
they're not won
They're
on
won
paper.
on the pitch. And for me, I'm actually taking a different approach to you. I'm still sticking with the top 5 leagues anyways. I think now that we have an understanding of how the first game week, make some bold predictions here and there. And the Bundesliga is just starting anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm expecting it to start on a respectful note. Me, everybody do normal. Nobody should do anyhow.
If you
So
spoil someone, sure.
can't spoil anyone. So
Okay.
these are my picks for the weekend. Just 12 odds, 11 selections, 12 odds. Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen is actually going to be an end-to-end game, but I think Leverkusen with their never say never spirit, fighting spirit, I don't think they are going to lose at the very worst. I think they'll get a draw if they don't win. So I'm going with the extra market. Dortmund take on Frankfurt in another game that is also going to be end-to-end. But I think someone is going to come out as a winner, so I'm giving them a 12. Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich as well are also playing. Normally, I would have given Bayern Munich a straight win, but because they are away, it's the first game of the season. It's under Vincent Company. I don't want to just go in all out, so I'm giving that game a 12 as well. I'm not going to just say because it's Bayern. I'm giving that game a 12. Someone will win. Man City versus Ipswich under 5.5 goals. City will win, but 6 goals won't be scored in that game. Ipswich they're like pushovers, but they are not as bad
I
as
just feel Haaland is telling you, hold my bear.
Haaland. Let me give you another bold pick. Haaland will not score 2 goals in this game.
Okay,
Haaland will not score 2 goals in this game.
no problem.
That has to be about 5
We'll be here
goals.
to
He
review.
won't score up to 2 goals in this game. Forget that one.
No problem.
Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Newcastle managed to scrape out, a win last time with 10 men, but this time around, I think they're not going to lose against Bournemouth. They actually gave them a very good price to win, 2.70, but it looks very tricky, so I'm just going to go with them to win or draw. So X2. Aston Villa versus Arsenal, straightforward option. Arsenal win over 2.5 goals. Kayabas will be there to punish Aston Villa, of course, so there will be goals all over the place. Then over to League One, Lyon versus Monaco over 1.5 goals. Over to Serie A, Parma versus AC Milan. Milan win or draw. Atalanta also won their first game 4-0, so I'm backing them to win or draw once again. Then over to the Dutch League, Groningen take on AZ Alkmaar. Anybody to win. And Barca take on Athletic Bilbao in the Spanish La Liga over 1.5 goals. So that makes a total of 12 odds and the Betano code right there is on your screen. And you can also use the promo code CollarDebet if you want to take a punt on my selections ahead of the weekend or also make your edit. You can use the promo code CollarDebet for every new user looking to place bets on the Betano bookmaker, which is one of our trusted bookmakers here on Betting Expert Nigeria. Of course, there's a third person missing from our trio gang. So Brennan is not here. He's in England completing yet another transfer.
Yes,
But
his guy is about to move.
He can't afford not to drop his tip. So he has told us he's going to be joining us via video call to drop his own selection. So he'll just be joining us now via the screen.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello, my name is Sarah Bruni, and these are my tips for the weekend. First, I'm going with Manchester City against Ipswich. Expect a very straightforward game in which Man City score a bunch of goals against a newly promoted side. Pep's team do not drag this kind of games out. They just win. It's very straightforward. So expect that, but just be on the safer side. Play over 1.5. So that's Manchester City to win and over 1.5. Next, I have Leipzig versus Bochum. 30 of Leipzig's 34 league games last season ended up with at least 2 goals scored. Of the 4 games that didn't, one was against Bochum, which ended 0-0. But Leipzig had 17 shots and missed 3 big chances, so you know that was an anomaly. More often than not, Leipzig games end with at least 2 goals scored, so keep that in mind and expect more of the same to happen here. So I'm going with 1.5 here. Next, I have Inter versus Lecce. The last two times they met, which was last season, Inter won 2-0, 4-0. That's 6 goals without reply. And the only team to beat them was Sassuolo last season, beat them at home and away. And yeah, that's their bogey team, so that doesn't really matter here. As far as Lecce are concerned, Inter should just be able to beat them straightforward at home. There's nothing to overthink there. Next, we have Lyon versus Monaco. Now, for this one, I'm going for over 1.5. Why? 18 of the last 19 matches between these two teams have ended with at least 2 goals scored. The one game that didn't was a game in which Monaco lost 1-0 to Lyon, but Monaco took as many as 19 shots and missed 2 big chances. So you know that was an anomaly. Next, we have Almeria versus PSV. I'm going with PSV and over 1.5. Even though they're away, it's pretty straightforward. PSV's 3 games so far this season have produced 12 goals. They're a very dominant side. They lost only 1 game last season, and that was against NEC away. So they're a very formidable side. They score goals for fun. They've already started scoring a lot of goals this season. First game, in the Shield, they scored 4 goals and conceded 4. So their games always have goals, and you can expect more of the same. You expect them to beat Almeria. They beat Almeria last season with 6 goals and no reply. So yeah, expect more of the same this time around. Next, I have Real Madrid versus Valladolid. Now, this is Real Madrid at home, Mbappe's debut at Santiago Bernabeu, and with all the noise following their draw against Mallorca, they are going to want to, deal with this professionally and really straightforward, right? And this is a newly promoted Valladolid side, but the last 2 times that they faced Valladolid, they scored 8 goals and considered none. In fact, the last 5 games against Valladolid have ended without them conceding. So of course, you expect them to, deal with Valladolid this time around at home in front of their fans, with their players feeling like they have something to prove to dispel the doubts. Expect a straightforward win. So I'm going with Real Madrid to win and over 1.5 goals. Then we have Sparta versus Feyenoord. I'm going with 1.5. Feyenoord are a team who like to score as well in the Shield. They scored 4 against PSV, and they played 1-1 in their next game, their first game of the season, first league game of the season, and they played 5-1 last weekend. So you know that there are always goals in Feyenoord matches, and that's a lot of goals. Expect more goals here. And against Sparta, last 5 games against Sparta have produced at least 2 goals. So expect more of the same in this game. Next, we have St. Mirren against Celtic. Celtic are a team that always see goals, a lot to score goals, right? And of course, their first 3 games of the season so far have produced 10 goals. Their last 11 games against St. Mirren have produced at least 2 goals in each. So expect more of the same from this game. This is a game that always produces goals. Next, we have Magdeburg versus Schalke. Now, between these two teams last season, 10 goals were scored. Like, goals are always scored. Schalke's last 10 games have produced at least 2 goals. So expect more of the same. Expect goals in this game. And I'm going with 1.5. Next, I have Porto versus Rio Ave. Now, Porto are on fire. They've won their first 3 games. In their preseason games, they won 7 out of 7 games, scoring 4 times in 5 different games, and they've just been on fire so far, and they've been scoring for fun as well. So keep that in mind and know that Porto are going to score more goals. They are home against Rio Ave, a team that they almost always beat, and it's going to be a pretty straightforward game. So I'm going with Porto to win and over 1.5. Last one I'm going with is Benfica versus Estrela. Benfica to win and over 1.5. Why? The last 4 games between these two have ended with Benfica wins and at least 2 goals scored. So expect more of the same, and for Benfica to triumph. So Benfica to win and over 1.5. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Ciao.
So for someone who is closing a major transfer, almost be like Bessie with the ball. It looks like he's enjoying himself. Anyways, I think from his tips, they look pretty bold, but I like the fact that he agreed with me, Lyon and Monaco by 1.5 goals. And I don't know why you guys are underrating Ipswich like this. I see something good from them.
You are saying this because it's not Arsenal that will play.
I see something good from
them. If it was Arsenal that will play now, you tell me Saka will score Harvard. You might even tell me that Raya will come from that goal post.
If Arsenal take on Ipswich, what do you expect? What do you expect when Arsenal take on Ipswich?
They will score.
That is a normal thing now. But anyways, that was some very nice tips from everybody, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's tips play out correctly. Actually, let's see how that will play out. And just on a final note, before we wrap up this show, can you give us a bold value tip for the weekend?
For the weekend?
Don't steal my value tip, and you know it already. Don't steal it.
Is it
Thank
your Kai
you.
Havertz thing?
Don't just focus on your tip. Thank you.
Hello. My value tip self is not even for your Kai Havertz. It's for the German Bundesliga. I think Michael. I think Olise is going to score on his first game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Olise to score.
I can agree with you on that one.
I want to add assist, but let me know about it. I think he will score.
I can agree with you. And my own value tip is water is wet. Last time around, you guys were laughing when I said Kai Havertz to score. And he even did better. He scored and he assisted. So I'm going on to say it again. I'm going to just
He'll score
tweak
and
it a
assist
bit.
again.
Kai Havertz to score and he will have 2 shots on target. It's going to score and you have 2 shots on target.
You know the good thing why I don't complain.
Because it's your FPL.
Yes, that's the only thing. I need him to score. I need him to assist. In fact, if he can give us a hat trick,
I'm bringing him into my FPL.
Don't bring him. Someone you did not trust from the beginning. Fake Arsenal fan.
Come on, I said it here on set.
Fake.
I said it here on set that Kai Havertz is a focal point.
All he did in the preseason, you did
I
not
said
see.
that is a focal point. He's one to watch and all of that. Now that Arteta has confirmed that he's our top 9, Havertz is going to be in my FPL all through the season.
So like this now, you're convinced throughout the season you don't need another striker.
Don't need another striker. We have Kai Havertz. He's Arsenal's man.
I'll be here for it.
That's all we need. Now, of course, you'll be here. And that's all we have time for you in this video. It's been a fun time giving you our tips ahead of the weekend. But this is not all we have. There will be more tips that you can check on our social media pages showing right there across your screen. Don't forget to take advantage of the promo code CollarDayBet for those looking to place bets using my own selections. And also, if you want to follow the Duchess of Sporters or Cerebrone, you can also make use of the picks they have given as well. Of course, we remain your guys on Betting Expert Nigeria, and you know our watchword. Bet responsibly, stick with money you can afford to lose, and always do your research. We'll be looking forward to being here once again next week, and hopefully when our tickets have all played out correctly. And
green.
Come your way next time. Stay cool.
Have a green weekend.